Eric, Harrell stopped short of expressing confidence in the chief, saying he has hired outside counsel to investigate those claims before acting. Do you still have confidence in this, Chief?
Well, for me, I have to afford any of my employees due process.
Bruce Harrell is Seattle's mayor.
Well, I constantly evaluate everyone, and the chief is no exception. And so, yes, we're evaluating. I've had faith in him in the past. He was confirmed unanimously by the city council. But the allegations that we're dealing with right now certainly have gotten my administration's attention, and we're going to act accordingly.
This is Harrell says he's hired an outside investigator to look into claims of sexual harassment and discrimination by Chief Diaz and Top Lieutenant John O'Neill by 4 active female Seattle police officers. Kame Spencer, Jean Golpan, Valerie Carson, and Lauren Truscott are making the allegations in a $5 million claim against the city.
We are retaining a consultant to do a deep dive on the institutional problems we're having within the department. The chief understands that, and the chief will make his entire command staff available for this kind of forensic analysis, if you will.
This seems more like damage control.
Samir Singla is representing the accusers and argues that Harrell was forced to act after a Seattle police statement responding to the complaint said SPD would not respond to individual perceptions of victimhood that are unsupported, and police work is physical, has been and remains a male-dominated profession.
What the department was saying was, look, this is a male-oriented job because it's so physical, and my clients, women, they're just being victims in this environment, and they are not to be believed. That is alarming.
Hello.
An alarm that comes at a time when those same women are front and center in the city's ongoing effort to recruit other new officers in a short-staffed department. Chief Diaz has also hired an outside attorney and was noticeably absent from a public safety meeting last night in Seattle's Central District. He said through his attorney today that he welcomes a, quote, objective review. That's the story for now. As we know it live in Seattle, I'm Chris Daniels, KOMO News. Friday, 4 Seattle police officers, 4 women, filed a tort claim against the city alleging sexual harassment by the chief and his top lieutenant, as well as discrimination. A couple of those officers have been on the front lines in your recruiting effort. What conversation have you had with the chief about those claims?
Well, I literally just had a meeting with the chief about an hour ago, and the conversations go something like this. We have to take all of these claims extremely seriously, that we recognize that departments like yours have a history of unfairness and gender bias, and so how do we get in front of it to rectify it? And so I let the department know that we are retaining a consultant to do a deep dive on the institutional problems we're having within the department. We will look to other cities on how they're dealing with it as well. And again, it's all about taking this as an opportunity to address issues that I'm sure have been around for years and years. A lot of our emphasis in the last couple of years has been external to the department. Are they responding to 911 calls on time? Are they staffed appropriately? Am I resourced right in certain precincts? We are also now aggressively looking at the internal issues, the cultural issues, the bias issues. And so the chief understands that, and the chief will make his entire command staff available for this kind of forensic analysis, if you will, and we'll come up with strong recommendations.
Those 4 women have described a culture that is toxic, that is, for the women, it's been difficult to work in. The percentages from the 30 by 30 report, the small percentages of women within that department. Do you still have confidence in this, Chief?
Well, for me, I have to afford any of my employees due process. And so we'll let the legal and judicial process, the claim process sort of play out. I am in the business of making sure I have excellence around me, all around me. Command staff, the police department, on my 7th floor. And so I constantly evaluate everyone, and the chief is no exception. And so, yes, we're evaluating. I've had faith in him in the past. He was confirmed unanimously by the city council. But the allegations that we're dealing with right now certainly have gotten my administration's attention, and we're going to act accordingly.